We just paid the highest heating bill
Of
that,
all time. Sorry.
yes, of all time, essentially, for us. It's not great. I'm not pleased. I'm very displeased. In fact, we remarkably did not spend a lot of money, but let's get into the transactions for last week, and you can share in my pain. Hi, I'm Bo.
And I'm Win.
We're trying to find some kind of financial stability for us and his three kids. Part of that is we want to move and get a house. And part of why we want to do that is because currently we share utilities with the apartment next door to us. And we rely on their honesty to reimburse us for half of the utilities, which they did not do last month. They did not do that last month. They are a month behind, which means at this point, now that we've started paying the utilities already this month, the heating bill of $524, and then the electric bill's coming up too. That's $144, I think. Yeah, they're behind a month. They're behind a month, y'all. So they're about to they owe us over $400 at this point, because they're behind. And what are we going to do? You think we're not going to pay the utilities just because we haven't gotten reimbursed? No, we still got to pay that. Win still has to pay that.
Yes.
So yeah, struggle bus. We're struggling. I hate it. I want a house so bad. Okay. So into the transactions, starting with Friday on the 14th on Valentine's Day. Win paid $40 for the kids' copay. And then we spent $16 on Valentine's Day treats, which I count as dining because it's not really groceries, but it is food. And then his debt, I accidentally paid $20. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. I had been talking about how I wasn't going to put any more on his debt until after we got the house. But I'd forgotten that I had an auto pay set up for $20. So it...
How could you?
Yeah, y'all, struggle's real. So yeah, that happened. I canceled the future auto pays, but yeah, that $20 did happen. And then I stuffed $130 in my envelopes, and I'll show you how that panned out on the next page. And then snacky snacks on the 15th for $2. And then the dreaded heating bill. Freaking $524.
It's bad.
$524. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. This is trash.
That's not total utilities. That's just the heat bill.
Yep.
1 month.
And then on the 20th, student loan for $31. And then he saved $325 for his summer fund. And I saved $19 for Christmas and $363 for moving. So we didn't really we didn't go too terribly over budget. But there are things that could be better. I'll say it like that. And then for our envelope categories, very exciting. This is the end of the month. We cut it kind of close in some of these categories, y'all. Don't judge. It's fine. Everything's fine. So for groceries, we started with $3, added $90, spent $88. So there's $5 left. We spent a total of $332 on groceries this month, which really isn't bad. And then for bulk buys, started with $0, added $40, spent $26, so there's $14 left. And then the total spent on bulk buys is $203 for the month. And then transportation, started with $110, spent $36, so there's $74 left. So we spent $75 total on transportation. And then health, this is what's interesting here. We started with $402, spent $59 on prescriptions, so we're left with $343. That means we spent a total of $288 on health this month. Now, mind you, the budget, like what we added, was only $120. So we added $120 and spent $288. And that works because we bulked up the health category earlier because we knew that there would be bigger health expenses coming out. So even though we spent more than twice as much as what we put in, we're still not over budget in this category. We are still good to go. And then home shopping, we started with 30, didn't spend any, so there's 30. Birthdays started with 35, didn't spend any, so there's 35. We spent 30 in home shopping, and then we spent $98 in birthdays. And then clothing started with 137, didn't spend any this month at all. Shoes started with 158, that's what we're left with, didn't spend any at all this month. Then pet care, we got 55 that we had last week. So we spent $120 this month on pet care, which was for the cat's food, which is fantastic. And then personal, started with $17, spent $16, so now there's $1 left. I spent $222 this month on personal. And then Alphaba, this is where I match the boys' Wynn's twin older sons. I match what they put in their savings account. They did not put any in their savings account this week. So that'll be another 2 weeks before that happens again. So still have the $56 that I had last week. But there's a total of $14 put in their savings account this month. I'm okay with it. We shall see how that goes in the future, but hopefully I'll never go over budget in Alphaba again. Hopefully. Got fingers crossed here. Okay, now let's look at what this means for the budget. So all of the inflow is as budgeted, which is fantastic. So his paycheck was $1,380, mine was $1,506. So that's $2,886 as budgeted. And then we're not investing at all. Then we go down to his spending, which is Wynn's checking account.
All right. In the end, kid bills came out to 40. S&M collections, standard 50. Heating bill, 524. Student loans, 31. Adventures, 20. Maybe went over budget in miscellaneous, but we will do better next time. Subtotal was 755, leaving 2,131. Moving us over to savings. First priority, wedding fund, got 190. Kids got the 100 we budgeted for, savings wedding fund. And went slightly under budget on summer pay, but still managed to save 335. So pulled off savings 625 this time, leaving 1,506.
Yep. Which is exactly what was budgeted to have left at this point, which is a good sign. It's a very good sign. And then we get to my spending. So this is my checking account. My monthly bills, $18 as budgeted. His debt, $20, which was not budgeted, was absolutely not budgeted, but I forgot about that auto pay. And then dining out was $71, which is more than twice as much as was budgeted, but sometimes impulse wins, I suppose. Groceries in bulk, the $260 that was budgeted. All the rest of these were as budgeted. So transportation got $60, health got $80, home shopping got $30, birthdays got $5, clothing and shoes got $50, pet care got $30, and personal and Alphaba got $100. All is budgeted, so that's great. So that's a subtotal of $724, leaves us with $782, which is less than budgeted, but we like snacks in this house. It's a struggle sometimes. But now we get to my saving, which is my savings account. Insurance got $48 instead of the $248 that was budgeted, which is fine because I'd actually saved more than budgeted last paycheck. So this is absolutely fine. And then Christmas got $34, which is significantly less than budgeted, but that's fine because we pull cards, we pull playing cards, so it's always random how much is saved. We just try to be very cautious with what we budget so that we don't have to take from other categories to pay for Christmas. And then moving, which I just crossed off her wedding fund. It's fine. Everything's fine. I make the rules here, not this budget. It's changed on next month's budget. It's fine. But moving fund got $700 total in the end.
Woohoo!
So that at least that was the 782 that was left over. So that means 782 minus 782 is 0. This is a zero-based budget, which means every dollar has a job. Our bank accounts are absolutely not at 0.
Correct.
But I feel pretty good about how we did. Like, we were over budget, kind of as always. We're not that strict, y'all. You don't have to be strict. You can still make progress. You just have to
be intentional.
Be intentional, but you have to prioritize. You have to decide what you're willing to give up to live in the moment. Like, what are you willing to take from in order to get that snack? Like, what category are you willing to sacrifice for your impulses?
And honestly, winding back the clock a year or two, that advice from Bo was some of the toughest I ever had to take. She was reining in my spending, and how she got through to me was when I said I wanted to spend some money. She said, "Okay, what aren't you going? What are you going to give up?" And I hadn't ever actually had to stop and think about it. And she brought up one of our highest priorities at the time, and which was saving up for a house, and just pointed out that if I want to spend that money now, I'm delaying getting a house. And that hurt to hear. So really take some time, think about what are you giving up by making that choice in the moment. That's not to say you shouldn't, but what are you giving up?
Yeah, you gotta have your eyes open. Even if you don't stick to your budget, at least have your eyes open so that you know what's happening, so that it's not a surprise, and so that you don't accidentally bring your bank account down to 0, y'all. It's kind of important to not have overdraft fees and whatnot.
Because budget beats broke every time.
And you deserve financial stability. And I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.